What's going on, guys? Today we are back with another mock draft, the second overall pick in a 10-man league. If you guys are new here and you haven't seen these mocks before, we generally go about them with some certain strategy. Today, the strategy, again, is going to be zero RB. So with this second overall pick, we're going to be taking a wide receiver. We're going to see who falls for us. But like I have said, in 10-man leagues, you have to be ready to pivot away from your strategy if there's undeniable value on the board. And to be honest with you, looking at the board and where we're going to be picking in the second, third, and fourth rounds, I think there could be some undeniable there. So I am purely prepared to transition or pivot my strategy a little bit. But without further ado, let's get into this. If you guys need resources to help with your fantasy league, again, I have this master spreadsheet. All you have to do is click the link in the description to join it. Also, Fantasy Pros average draft position helps us out a lot in these mock drafts. It's a completely free website. I will have that linked on my chalkboard in the description as well. Guys, let's get into this mock draft. So again, we're picking at the second overall pick here. Justin Jefferson falls to us. You know, at the end of the day, you can get Jamar Chase. You can get Justin Jefferson. I like Kupp a lot as well here, but I'm going receiver with the second pick. To me, the value at receiver is a little more scarce as these drafts go on, so I'm going receiver with the second overall pick. Now, coming back around at the turn, a lot of the receivers are off the board. However, I will take Garrett Wilson. I think the value there for Garrett Wilson as our number 2 receiver is really good. They're coming back around again. I think we have to stick with the zero RB strategy. We're going to get Jalen Waddle as our third wide receiver. So we have 3 receivers here in the first couple rounds who are of incredible value. I would have loved to take Tony Pollard there. I probably would have if he was still available, but the undeniable value, you know, it's kind of not there. However, going back around now, we're going to see who's available for us. So there are some really good quarterbacks available. There's a Lamar Jackson. We see Aaron Jones on the board at running back. We see Joe Mixon on the board at running back. I'm going to go Aaron Jones here. I have him number 24, I believe, on my spreadsheet. I think the value there is undeniable. Also, guys, in these deeper leagues, you can afford to wait a little bit, or in 10-man leagues, you can afford to wait a little bit for quarterback. As I say that, though, looking at the quarterbacks who are on the board, Lamar Jackson at quarterback is kind of a no-brainer here. In the 5th round, taking an elite quarterback like Lamar Jackson is going to be a really good pick. And now all we need to do is get our RB2 and our tight end to solidify our starting lineup coming back around. Let me know what you guys would have done with these first few picks. Let me know if you would have changed anything. But here coming back around, I think there's going to be some pretty good value for us at our RB2 and at the running back position, or at the tight end position. Looking at the running backs who are on the board, tight ends who are on the board. So this guy probably is going to need a tight end eventually. Looking at the running backs who are on the board, I don't mind Swift. I think Cam Akers is probably our best bet here in terms of running backs. So we're going to go with Cam Akers as our RB2. And then tight end coming back around, we could get Pitts. We could get Goddard. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts here. I think Kyle Pitts in the 7th is still decent value. You know, you could have gone Goddard. I would have loved if Waller fell, but I'm going to take Kyle Pitts here. I'm going to trust Kyle Pitts at the tight end position. And now we build up our depth. Again, guys, when you go with these zero RB strategies, one of the most important things to do is secure your running back depth. So when you're getting top wide receivers early, you're obviously going to be confident in that position. So when you come back around and pick, you have to kind of lean towards running backs a little bit. David Montgomery as our RB3 is really good value there. And again, guys, here's our roster right now. Going back to find our possible RB4, looking at some of the players who are on the board, we could draft a receiver for here as well. I think Jordan Addison has some pretty good value there. But looking at the receivers who may be around the bend for us, we have 3 elite receivers. So we're not going to go receiver here. We could go running back. We could go tight end as well. We only have a few seconds here. I'm going to go James Cook at our running back position here for our RB4. Now, looking at the 10th and 11th rounds, this is kind of where we got to take our backups. There are some decent backup tight ends on the board right now. I think I'm going to lean there, but we have to see the receivers who are on the board as well. I think if Michael Thomas is there for us, we kind of got to take him. Okay, there, Michael Thomas as our receiver 4. Really good upside there. And then we could take a backup tight end. Dalton Schultz is on the board. We could also take our 5th running back right now. We could go Khalil Herbert. I'm going to do that. But coming back around now, you know, we took Lamar Jackson, so backup quarterback is not a priority for us, right? We have an elite guy, and backup tight end could be a little bit more of a priority for us. Should we have reached for Schultz instead of Khalil Herbert there? I could have. I'm not upset that I didn't. But now looking back here, you know, Dalton Kincaid's on the board. This guy's not going to take a tight end, so we can move away from tight end. We're going to get Geno Smith as our backup quarterback here. And then at tight end, we will go, should we go Kincaid? We could go Dulcich. We could go Higbee. I'm going to go Dalton Kincaid here. Let me just double check the bye week. We're good there. Okay, perfect. So We are waiting for our fifth wide receiver now. And again, these fifth wide receivers, not extremely important, at least in these zero RB drafts. Obviously, you want to build depth, but when you're drafting a guy like Justin Jefferson, then Garrett Wilson, then Jalen Waddle, the fifth receiver becomes a little less important, especially when you have Michael Thomas as your receiver 4. But looking at the fifth wide receivers that are on the board, I'm going to go Nico Collins. I know everybody and their mother is on Nico Collins as a sleeper this year. We're going to go Nico Collins. I'm going to take the Eagles defense. Then coming back around, we're going to take the kicker. Again, guys, last 2 rounds, ideally, at least in my mind, should be defense then kicker. I tend not to reach for those guys beforehand. But, if you really want Justin Tucker, go ahead and reach for him in the 14th. Don't do it in the 13th. Don't do it in the 13th. You can do it in the 14th. But honestly, I think this is a pretty good draft. We'll roll back through as soon as we pick our kicker. We will go Cameron Dicker here. But looking at our draft, where could we have improved? What could we have done differently? I think our first 3 picks went probably as well as they could have. I think Aaron Jones here, looking back on who we took Aaron Jones over, I like it. I would do that again. Looking at Lamar Jackson, could we have waited and taken like even a Dobbins or Pierce over Lamar Jackson? I don't love. So I think Lamar was the right pick there. What we probably should have done here in the 6th round, I would have preferred Waller over Pitts, moderately confidently. So I should have gone Waller and then waited and possibly gotten Akers there. And then if we didn't get Akers, could have gotten Swift, Connor, like one of those guys. So maybe we should have waited there. But honestly, otherwise, our RB3 is good. I like James Cook as our RB4. Khalil Herbert as our RB5 is good. And then we have 3 receivers who we love. We like Michael Thomas. Geno Smith as a backup is really good. I would have loved a different backup tight end. Honestly, if Cole Kmet was there, I would have taken Cole Kmet. But Kincaid, we can live with. Nico Collins as our 5th receiver, not bad. I give this draft probably like a 7.5, 7.6 out of 10. It's pretty good. I do really think that the first round of your draft should be a wide receiver from the 2 spot at least. Coming back around, you hope Wilson or Waddle or even Amon-Ra is there for you. And then here, if one of those guys keeps falling, you could really have a good 0 RB draft. Or if the running backs like Pollard, some guys who I like that are falling, or Stevenson, like those guys keep falling, I think you can go there as well. But honestly, I think I like the way the board worked out. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to comment which pick you want to see next and subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be doing every pick in a 10-man and a 12-man mock draft. This is the 102, 101, and the 110 is already posted. Again, thank you guys for watching. God bless.